You just said a load of words the wrong way round. Spider's nest. What I've just done there is typical ADHD. Sitting here talking about steroids, I go, oh, spider's nest. So guys, today's our first episode of our mental health podcast. We're going to do a little introduction about ourselves and why we started the podcast and what it means to us, and hopefully help as many people as we can. We've got a few questions that's already come through as well. So so I'll start with myself. So my name's Matthew Riggs, 36. Basically suffer with mental health issues due to the size that I was 27.5 stone, drunk a bottle and half a rum a day, ate 3 to 4 takeaways every day, and basically my mental health was absolutely shot to bits. It was only that my son come home from school and asked me, Dad, are you going to die? That I changed my life around, took a look at myself in the mirror and realised, that I needed to sort this out. So basically here we are, fast forward 3 years on, and I've lost 14 stone with one stage category, transformation, and just basically helping out as many people as we can. So over to you, Ed.
Yeah, so I'm Ed Archer. I've struggled with my mental health as well for years now, probably even before than when I got diagnosed. I struggled for a long time, and then I kind of used drugs as a support. I was highly addicted to cocaine. I was using up to about £500 worth of cocaine a day, which it got to a point it was ruining my life, and not just my life, but family, friends. I was a mess, and it got to the point where I was going to die before anything changed. So for me, getting better, I started training at the gym and started to change my life around, really, just like you, really.
Yeah, the gym has been a massive change in my life. I mean, just getting in there and getting it done is just makes you feel so good when you get out there, and there's no feeling like it, to be honest with you. It's definitely a game changer, and if anyone's thinking about it, definitely get on and get in the gym. It's a lifesaver, if anything. So what would you say was your what made you addicted? Where did it all start with your addiction and stuff?
I think just we've spoken about this so many times. Like, it's a genuine answer when I say it. I really don't know. Like, yeah. I'm at that. Like, I keep asking myself always, what was the trigger? Why did I get to that point? And I think it was just a culmination of factors. You get sucked into an environment where, I know, things happen in your life. I split up with my ex-partner. It was a bad breakup, and it just. But
I mean, was it? Did it start social? Did it start in the pub, like socially, having a few lines here and there, calling on a gram here and there, and then all of a sudden you got addicted to it, and then it was a case you was doing it at home, on your own, sitting in, was it like that sort of thing? Yeah,
it was that gradual decline. Like, I think you're doing it with your mates. You're doing a couple of lines and stuff. Then it gets onto a gram, and then you're doing it on a Saturday night. And then by the morning, you're then calling it in again, and then before you know it, it's Sunday afternoon, and then it rolls into Monday, and it got to a point where I was going to work, but on my way to work, I was picking up from my dealer, and using at work. Luckily, it's a stupid term, but I was working in sales, so to be on cocaine and working in sales, if anything, it helped me in my job, but that's the only thing it ever helped with.
Yeah. Okay.
And then it got into the point where I was doing it at night on my own. And it's just
shit, really.
It really is.
Honest with you.
It's crap.
I mean, obviously, I've been in a situation, not with drugs and stuff, but I've been in a situation where I couldn't wait to get home to get a drink, and it started off. I'd literally come home and just pour myself like straight rum. And then within sort of half an hour, I'd get deep into a bottle within half hour, and then you get the effects of feeling.
You're half cut by that point.
Yeah, you can feel it, and then obviously you bring calling on takeaways. I mean, I wasn't calling on drugs, but takeaways are just as bad. Sitting there ordering like 24 chicken strips and a couple of chicken burgers. It's just
once in a blue moon, that's all right. But when you're doing it every night,
I think I remember going through one summer in June, and I was ordering from this chicken shop every night. I was ordering 24 chicken strips, 2 chicken burgers, 2 large fries.
Hopefully you were getting a discount. I'm hoping.
And it was just, it was just real bad. But obviously the McDonald's, I was addicted to McDonald's as well, getting that, twice a day. It's a downward spiral, especially when you drink as well, because everything goes out the window. Drink was, I was masking everything with a drink, because if you feel shit, you have a drink, you feel great, you feel on top of the world. But then when you get back up, all those problems that you've been trying to hide them are just there anyway. They're all back there in the morning, so you're not actually getting away from it. It's just more of a
you're hiding from it.
Yeah, coping mechanism. But as I said, the gym has been the best coping mechanism for anything, because it's allowed me to get rid of all of those.
It's just a different addiction, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just swapped an addiction for a better addiction.
And I think like my wife always says, like, I can't believe you get up at silly o'clock every morning, go to the gym. And I think for me, like, I'm on my way to being diagnosed with ADHD as well, and I think that it is a factor in why I can stick to stuff. As long as there's a routine, I can do it day in, day out, to the extent I even eat the same meal every night, because it's healthy and I can eat it.
I'm exactly the same. So yeah.
So yeah, like, I think I'd rather be addicted to the gym where it's actually helping me, and it's only ever benefited me, the gym. Like, I've made good friends. Like, we've known each other 6 months.
Yeah.
And
crazy, isn't
it? You find friendships because more often than not, most people in the gym are there for self-improvement.
Yeah, they've all got their demons. They've all got their reasons why they're there. Everyone's got something that they want to get rid of or whatever. There's always that one reason why they're in the gym,
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, and the more you get to know people at the gym, you get to find out about them, and it's always the people. It's the people that you least expect that are the ones with the biggest demons. And I think it comes back to that old term, doesn't it? Like, don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's so right. Like, you see people in there, and I think it boils down to kind of when you go into a gym, especially the type of gym we go to. It's a bodybuilder's gym.
Yeah,
so it's a very intense type of gym, and you get people in there that are huge, and a lot of them aesthetically they look amazing. And I know, and I know you felt it when you first went into the gym. You were like, well, I feel absolutely stupid. I'm 20 odd stone, and you got these people with 8, 10, 12 packs.
Yeah, well, this is it. I mean, I went to a barbecue yesterday, and they said to me, "Oh, which gym do you train at?" And I said, "Oh, ripped. Oh, I won't go there." I said, "Why wouldn't you go there?" "Well, it's full of meatheads, full of roid heads. You know what I mean? It must be awful training there." I was like, "No," I said, "It's the complete opposite." I said, "What gym do you go to?" "Oh, I like going to a nice quiet gym." And I was like, "No," I said, "Trust me. When I first went to Ripped, I was nervous. I was scared and anxious and whatnot, because I had the same perception in my head. But as soon as I got through the door and, when I was greeted and when I then I trained, actually, these people actually wanted to help me. They were like, "Oh, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong, adjust your grip, adjust this," and they actually wanted to help. And then they're actually, most of them are gentle giants. To be fair, they've all got they're all there for a reason, and it's the atmosphere is another level.
Yeah, that's the it's a community. It's really weird. Like, I'd always gone to commercial gyms, like the likes of Fitness First and places like that, and yeah, they serve their purpose. And if you like going to those places, cool. Like, everyone's different, and everyone can train in a specific environment that helps them. Cool. But I've found, like, especially at Rip Gym in Basildon, like, it's a it feels like a family. Like, if people haven't seen you for a few days, you will either get someone text you and say, "You all right? Like, I haven't seen you in a while," or when you come back after a few days, they'll go, "Oh, have you been all right? Like, where you been?"
Yeah.
Like, and it's those it's those little personal things that makes you want to go back to the gym. And I think, it's for us. I think we need that environment.
Yes, it's definitely a game changer. I mean, because obviously, when I went, I was 27.5 stone at my heaviest. Obviously, my son asked me, "Dad, are you going to die?" That was my turning point. So people always ask me, "Matt, what was your turning point?" I had someone message me this morning on Instagram, "Matt, can I just ask you, what was your, why did you wake up that morning and decide you was going to change?"
That's it. Yeah.
And I said, "Well, I didn't wake up actually on that day and think to myself I was going to change it. It was unexpected, My son come home from school learning about the body, and he said to me, 'Dad, are you going to die?' Now, I lost my dad when I was 11, and I know what that's like to lose a parent at a young age, and I thought to myself, I don't want my son to go through the same, because the way I was going, there's only one way I was ended up, and that was in the graveyard. I was literally, I said, a bottle of rum, all these takeaways every day. So he shook me up. He took my son to shake me up. I wouldn't have listened to anybody else. My wife tried it. My mum's tried it. Other family members have tried it. But it was because my son said it to me, and that just hit.
Changes it, doesn't it? It's a different hit.
It's hit totally different.
Yeah.
So you need to find a reason, why you do it. And, like I say, people say, oh, you must feel so much better now. Well, I do. It is... I feel a different person. I am a different person. Everything's different about me. Not just the fact that I go to the gym and I've lost weight, but everything. Like the way I am with the kids, the way I am with my family, the way I am with my wife. It's just changed. I am a different person to what I used to be 3-4 years ago.
It's like they say, like, it's not an excuse, but at the same time, like when they say you have to want to change to start that change.
Yeah.
And I think, like, for me, like when I was in rehab and I got chucked out of rehab for using, and that was after my parents had spent 6 figures.
Not a great start, is it?
If you're getting chucked out of rehab and they're helping you get off something and you're getting chucked out for using it, you don't want help. But I think that was one of the start of the turning point. I had some relapses, but it was at the time I was in rehab when my parents they'd paid so much money to go away on this long, 2-month, holiday of a lifetime to Australia and stuff. I went into rehab 2 days before they left.
Yeah.
And my auntie at the time went, "You're going, I'll sort this." And when I got chucked out, one of the cleaners must have found about £1,000 worth of cocaine in my room. Stupid that I just left it out on the side, but I'd already used quite a bit by that point. And they chucked me out. The night before I got chucked out, I barricaded myself in the room and I had most of the emergency services at rehab. There's about 15 emergency services vehicles there trying to get me out of this room because I refused to leave. But I got chucked out, and my parents washed their hands of me initially, and they went, "We do not want you in our house. We do not want to know you." And because of my auntie having a spare key, she was like, "You do not contact your parents, but I will let you stay there because there's nowhere else for you to stay." And yeah, I think for that, it's just, I think you...
See, that's because,
I think you need your parents to go, "I don't want to know you." And that is you're kicking the nuts.
It's owning you, isn't it? It's
yeah.
And the fact that you got told you're going to rehab and you didn't choose to do it is most probably the reason why you didn't actually want to do it, as you say, because you actually have to choose these things. I mean, it's like when, my wife actually booked me a PT trainer once for my birthday, and it caused a massive row because, "Oh, what do you think of me? I'm fat, I'm this, I'm that, and everything else." But really, she was just looking out for me. She wanted me to get fit and healthy for the kids. But I saw it as, you're not telling me.
It was a personal attack.
Yeah, you're not telling me what to do. I do what I want to do. I'm my own person. Yeah. So if anyone's saying to you, "You've got to lose weight, you've got to do this," I mean, who are you to tell me? You got to do it yourself.
Yeah,
it needs to come off your own back.
I think once you've decided this is going to happen, I think then you're on the right road. I got to the point where I relapsed and I was in that much debt with dealers that they were threatening to come and petrol bomb the house. And I had a lot of people say, "Just ignore them, they won't do it." I've witnessed horrific things that drug dealers do to get their money. I've seen them squirt acid in people's faces, blow up car. I've seen stuff happen, and I always said to people, would you be willing to take that risk? If you've seen a specific person do horrific things to people over £100, are you willing to go against their poker face? Are you really? Is it worth it? So my parents have been brilliant. I've had an amazing support system. I think that does help. Not everyone's lucky enough to have it, but for me, they literally went, "Right, we'll sort stuff out. You're gonna have to move away." All this sort of stuff. As soon as I moved away, it's been brilliant.
Yeah,
I've been clean ever since. So this year I'm closing in on the end of the year. I'm closing in on 5 years clean.
It's amazing, mate.
And and it's
amazing. Like it is amazing. I mean, my support system network has been great. As in, like, I like to thank my work as well, because I had started a new job in 2018. My nan was ill. I lost my nan, and basically they were really good, supporting me. I was eating and drinking still at the time, but I saw a lot of positive things happening in my workplace as well. And obviously coming back, my son asking me them questions, they supported me through the whole thing. My wife was she's been fantastic through the whole thing. My family, everyone supported me through it. But I don't think anyone actually thought that I was actually going to get to where I am today. I don't think anyone has, the success always feels better when people, you feel like you're being doubted. You always feel.
If you're proving your doubters wrong, that is the biggest victory. Like we've both had it. Like I've had it. It brings me no greater pleasure than sticking two fingers up at the people that doubted you the most.
Yeah.
And I'm still. Yeah. Quite an Elton John song. I'm still standing, but I am and I love it. Like I love to be able to go, I proved you wrong, and I'm going to continue to prove you wrong.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And I think that gives you a little spurs you on in the right direction.
I mean, like they say, first they laugh at you and then they ask questions. So, and that's very true, because when I first started it, I had people laughing at me. Oh God, here he goes again. He's on another diet. God, how many more diets are you going to go on, Riggsy? Another one, blah, 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 blah. And then the next thing you know, 2 years down the line, they're asking me, why did you do that? I mean, what food are you eating? I mean, how much, and you think to yourself, well, hang about, you was laughing at me 2 years ago saying I wasn't going to do it, and now you're asking me how I did it.
Yeah, exactly.
So what side are you on?
Yeah, that's the thing, like, I think, but those are the type of people that you want to prove wrong, because that people are always, I think to an extent it's human nature, isn't it? People want to take the piss. People want to laugh at you. But I was told by my dad, it was like, they're only laughing at you because they're insecure. It's their own insecurities and their own life that has less meaning, that people try and belittle you or doubt you. Unfortunately, we've both given people, a lot of people in our lives, reason to doubt us.
No, yeah.
And that's the thing, like,
that's it.
And it's that whole thing, like, both of our family members, once bitten, twice shy.
It's like a boy that cried wolf sort of thing, yeah.
And it does get to a point where they're like, I'm bored of this. Yeah. Like, I've lost relationships, like, with family. Like, my sister, she don't want to know me because I was that much of an arsehole. Hopefully in time, maybe in the future, who knows, we can reconcile. But, hey, like, you've got to do what you need to do in your life. Like, if you're sitting here just talking about, like, thinking about, oh, what if, or I need them to be in my life. Like, I've had friends where they've made out that they were trying to help me. Like when I was through my worst and in rehab, I've had friends go, oh, well, I didn't come and see you in rehab because I wanted to teach you a lesson. What lesson is that? The only lesson I have in my head is, well, you bailed on me. Yeah. When I needed you the most, you sacked me off.
Yeah.
That, it's a cop-out. Like, I know people, some of the people were the ones that introduced me to like cocaine in the first place.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, before I'd got really bad, it was the people that introduced me and got it for me. And then, but I know now it's their own guilt.
Yeah, it's more of a case he was out of sight, he was out of mind. They weren't really bothered. So
yeah, they didn't want to.
To be fair, you don't really need people like that in your life that've got you hooked on.
No, that's the thing. Like, they sit there. I've had people and they've sit there and go, well, I didn't come to see you in rehab because you needed to realise that we were there for you and you've backed us over and all this sort of stuff. And I was like, no, when you're in that point, and I know now, you just need someone to put their arm around you and go, it's going to be all right, mate, come on, we got this.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't expecting people to come around and go, right, how much debt have you got? I'll pay that off for you, I'll get you a house. Yeah. That doesn't matter.
No.
It literally just want to...
It's the moral support of it.
You just need someone to come around, like, sit with you and go, no, you're right, we've got this, come on, me and you, we'll get through this together.
Yeah.
And I think that costs nothing as well.
No, I see. It's nothing. But hey, did we have some questions come over? Because I was seeing a few questions come through.
We got some questions. The first question actually is for Matt, and they ask if you think people can be lazy with their health.
Do you think people can be lazy with their health? Yes, definitely. I think that people can be lazy because basically I've seen it in my own eyes, since I started coaching people as well, you see that they're all good for, a couple of days and then all of a sudden it just, disintegrates downhill fast. You get every excuse under the sun. I've been working long hours, or I've got up late, or my alarm didn't go off, I've got a headache, or my foot's hurting, my knee's hurting. But then you see them same people on Instagram, at parties and at events, and you think, well, your leg's not hurting now, you haven't got a headache now, so I know that they're being lazy, and I know that they don't put their health first, because you can have the best of both worlds, you can balance it, and if you stick to the gym and stay in, you can make it a lot better. But there is a lot of lazy people out there that don't want to do it, and they just want to make excuses.
It comes back to that thing though, doesn't it? If you want to help yourself, you want to. You
have to be able to, yeah, exactly. You have to want it. There's no point in signing up with a coach and say, I want to do this, because if you don't really want to do it, you're not going to do it, because the coach ain't going to do it for you. The only person that's going to do it is yourself. So
yeah.
To answer that one, mate, yeah, definitely people are definitely lazy with their health.
Well, we have another question still for Matt. Do you have an advice for people who feel anxious going to the gym because they don't have a nice body?
People that are anxious going to the gym, I'd say just get in there. Get in the gym. If you've got to put your headphones on, put your headphones on.
It does sound harsh, but no one cares what you're doing in the gym.
No.
Like, no one's actually looking at you. No one, if anything, if they are looking, they're looking to see if you're doing it right. So, especially in the gym we go to, to see if you're doing it right, so you're not going to hurt yourself.
Yeah, I mean, just get in there, get it done. I mean, no one really cares. As you said, no one really cares about what you're doing in the gym. The fact that you're in the gym is the best, is the best step forward. So, just get in there, get it done, get your headphones on if you have to, and do the best you can. But no one really cares.
Right. Anyone that's taking the mick out of another person in the gym is stupid. Like that. You could be 50 stone. If that person's in the gym and walking really slowly on a treadmill, they're doing more than the person at 50 stone sitting on their backside in their sofa.
Yeah, of course.
Like, you have to give people their kudos. Like, we've all started somewhere. Like, yeah.
Well, as they say, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. It's that first step forward that's going to change your life.
And usually the eldest.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we have a question for both now, actually. And how are you feeling with your mental health right now?
Mental health right
There's
now.
one.
Yeah.
Cool. To be fair, doing stuff like this, I think helps us. I think we're those type of people that we want to help people, don't we? We want to give back, but we have our tough times. Like,
of course, it's great to talk. I think talking is one of the best things you can do, rather than bottle everything up and just talk. I mean, I'd say now I'm probably in the best place I've been for a long time, with family life, with my kids, just my actual physical health as well as my mental health.
They tie in so importantly. Like, you can't have one decent one without the other.
No, yeah. So I mean, I definitely am in the best position now with my mental health. Of course, there's days where you feel down. I think that's just part of being human. There's days where you don't feel as great as you did the day before, because one day you can be on top of the world and the next day depends on what's going on in your life at the time. Life is a roller coaster at the end of the day.
All right, Ronan Keating.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't have the ups without the downs, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Well, that's the thing. Like, I think recently, like for me, I've had some. I think the world is against me at some points. Like, it just feels like I'm getting a swift kick in the knackers every 10 minutes. Like, with family stuff, like, and now even my dog, like, ain't well, bless her. And I think for me, like, this week's I've taken it quite hard, like, because my dog, like Bella, she stopped me from taking my own life.
Yeah, it's more than just a dog.
People have said to me, oh, like, obviously, like, dog are part of your family, like, they're literally one of your children. I was like, yeah, but if it weren't for her smashing that bottle of vodka, I'd be dead. Like, my kids wouldn't have a dad. And it's weird. Like, dogs are intuitive, and I'm forever grateful for my dog, and the fact that she's sitting in a vet's highly unwell, and there's nothing I can do about it. Like, she protected me at my lowest, and then now I just feel crap because I can't do the same. And but yeah, like, so I'm doing great. Right, guys, thanks for tuning in to our podcast.
Join us again next time when we'll be joined by another great guest. Also, I want to say a special thanks to ImageWorks for our graphic design and our banner. Don't forget to like and subscribe,
because this will enable us to get our message across to you guys.
Yeah.